All right, today we're diving into a piece of tech that's changing something we usually just put up with on our daily drives: noise. We're going to look at how Continental is engineering a much quieter ride, not just for us inside the car, but for everyone outside, too. Let's get right into it.
So think about it. In this age of super quiet engines, especially with all the electric cars on the road, what's the one sound that just cuts through the peace and quiet? It's not the engine anymore. Nope, it's the sound of your tires rolling on the pavement.
And this quote from Continental, it really hits the nail on the head. This is the whole idea right here. They're looking at road noise not as a fact of life, but as an engineering problem that can actually be solved. So how are they doing it?
Well, because our cars have gotten so quiet under the hood, that tire noise is now front and center. It's that constant drone you hear on the highway, that hum in the city. It's become a huge deal, both for our own comfort and for noise pollution in general. And this is where Continental's approach is so smart. They're not just looking at it from one angle. They're tackling the problem from two sides: the noise that gets inside the car and the noise that pollutes the world outside. Let's start with what you hear in the cabin. Okay, so their first big innovation is called Conti Silent, and this one is all about making the experience better for the driver and the passengers, the people actually in the car, to create a seriously more peaceful ride. So how does it work? Well, the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly effective. As your tire is rolling down the road, the air inside it vibrates like crazy, and that creates a constant drone. Conti Silent adds this special layer of polyurethane foam to the inside of the tread. It basically acts like a sound-absorbing cushion, soaking up those vibrations before they can even get to you. So, all that clever foam, what does it actually do? Well, the result is a noise reduction of up to 9 decibels inside the car. But what in the world does that actually mean? Is 9 decibels a lot? Oh, it is a huge deal. This is where it gets really impressive. You see, our ears perceive a 10 decibel drop as cutting the sound we hear in half, so 9 decibels is right up there. We're talking about a massive difference in how quiet your car feels. Conversations get clearer, music sounds better. It's a total game changer for just making driving more relaxing. Okay, so that's the inside sorted, but that's only half the story, right? What about all that noise our cars make for everyone else? Well, this is where Continental's second piece of magic comes in. They're tackling the problem at the source to make our towns and cities just a little bit quieter. You know that sound a tire makes on the street? That constant, almost hypnotic hum? Yeah, that's not random. It's created by the tread blocks, which are usually all uniform, hitting the pavement in a predictable rhythm. So if you want to get rid of the hum, you've got to break the rhythm. Okay, take a good look at this comparison. See on the left, the standard tire? The tread blocks are all lined up, all nice and uniform. That's what creates that steady drone. But now, look to the right, at the silent pattern tread. See how the spacing is all irregular? The angles are different? That is totally on purpose. It's designed to break up the sound waves right as they're being made, so they actually end up canceling each other out. It's especially effective at city speeds, around 50 kilometers per hour, which is exactly where this kind of noise matters most. And honestly, this analogy is just perfect. It's pretty much the same principle as your noise-canceling headphones. They create an opposite sound wave to kill the noise around you. Well, this tread pattern does the same thing, but for the noise your tire makes on the road. So, this technology sounds amazing, right? But I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? Does all this quiet tech mean you have to give something up in terms of performance? This is the big question, for sure. A quiet ride is great, but not if it comes at the expense of safety or handling. So, what's the deal? And the answer from Continental is a big, resounding no. That foam is super light, and it's placed so it doesn't affect a thing. Your braking, your handling, your mileage, load, speed, even your performance in the wet. It's all exactly the same. You get all the quiet with zero compromise. All right, so let's say you're sold. You want a quieter drive. How do you actually find these things and make sure you're getting this tech? Well, Continental makes it pretty straightforward. First thing to look for is the Conti Silent logo printed right there on the sidewall of the tire. For the outside noise, you can check the official EU tire label, which will give you a clear decibel rating. And of course, you can always just head to their website to find all the models that have this tech.
So let's bring it all together. What we're seeing is this really powerful two-pronged attack on tire noise that covers all the bases.
When you boil it all down, it's really simple. There are two big benefits here. One is for you, the driver, a much quieter, more relaxing car thanks to that Conti Silent foam. And the other is for everyone.
quieter cities and neighborhoods thanks to the silent pattern tread.
And you know what? This quote from Achilles Toltris at Continental just sums it up perfectly. They're not just making a quieter tire, they're creating something that benefits drivers, people walking down the street, residents, the whole environment. It's a true win-win, and all without compromising safety one bit.
It's just a fascinating look at how some really smart engineering can solve these everyday problems we thought we just had to live with. Thanks so much for joining our explainer on the sound of silence. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the next everyday annoyance that's about to be engineered out of our lives?